Today, we're going to talk about some of the exciting releases coming out in the month of February. Similar to January, I just picked two a week, but there are so many more that we will dive into every week with the new releases video. So I really hope you enjoy this list and you'll come back to find out what else is coming out. Starting out on February 3rd is one that sounds like it's going to be so much fun, and it has one of those adorable covers that I love. And that is apparently Sir Cameron Needs to Die by Greer Suthers. All his life, Sir Cameron has stayed as far away from danger as possible. He is, quite frankly, too handsome to die a pointless death in battle. But then the church hands down a prophecy to his fellow knights. The only way to defeat their nemesis, the mad sorcerer Merlot, is to kill Sir Cameron. Short of ideas, Cameron throws himself on the mercy of the one person who now actually wants him to survive, the mad sorcerer. And while he doesn't want to deal with the babysitting duties, finding the groveling, semi useless knight actually is amusing to Marlowe. And what do you know it, but Sir Cameron finds that maybe he's into the grumpy, angry sorcerer thing. And it sounds so funny and possibly so adorable. It's maybe like Grumpy Sunshine, but or morally growy hero, but he's the villain, and our hero is an idiot, a handsome idiot. The other one coming out that day is Hammerfall by Rob J. Hayes. This is part of the God Eater saga, though it is a standalone within that world. And all the searching along, trying to see where exactly, though, it might fall, all of the reviews mentioned that this would actually be a really good one to start with itself if you haven't read the other, like the main novel or the two novellas, which Hayes does have a particular reading order for you to do those in. Even if I'm a little confused because some of them say like 1,000 years past, 3,000 years past, or 300 years past, but he still has a particular reading order, and I don't think it's in the years time span of the world. But this one, still not quite sure where in that timeline it falls, but all the reviewers were saying it is a great standalone to be a good entry into the God Eater world. I guess kind of like how some of the Cosmere novels you can like Warbreaker you could read by itself, and then, if you like it, go into the wider expanse. Hammerfall, though, says, how long can a cause remain just when painted in the blood of innocence? They named her the Starhammer once, hero to some, monster to many more, the first into the breach at the shattering, anointed in the blood of 1,000 demons, the last of the legacy of the Valkyr. But the Starhammer is dead, or so all the stories tell. And also, you are following a mother-daughter pair as your main characters in this one. So I love it. I do love it. Moving on to February 10th, one that I am super excited for, that's another standalone, Operation Bounce House by Matt Dinneman. All colonist Oliver Lewis ever wanted to do was run the family ranch with his sister, maybe play a gig or two with his band, and keep his family's aging fleet of intelligent agricultural bots ticking as long as possible. And he thinks it'll be a good thing when the trade routes to Earth finally open up long term. However, even though Earth made promises that the settlers would be mostly let alone, apparently the government of Earth has another plan, and they have hired out Apex Industries to commence the eviction action to the colonists there on the planet. But in order to maximize profits, they've decided to send in a fleet of not quite AI robots, but people at home will be able to pay to control these robots. Thus, a game will ensue between the people of Earth sending out the robots and the people on the planet. The game will be called Operation Bounce House. I hope I did that one justice because it sounds so funny, and it would probably also be a good introduction to Dinneman's style if you haven't tried Dungeon Crawler Carl yet. Same day, coming out, totally different story though, Strange Animal by Jared K. Anderson. Green trips on the curb, falls flat into the street, and sees the city bus speeding toward him. And then, blink. He's back on the curb, miraculously still alive. A 5-foot-tall crow watches him from atop a nearby sign, somehow unseen by the rushing crowd of morning commuters. Desperate for answers and beset by more visions of impossible creatures, Green finds his way to a remote campsite in the Appalachian Mountains. where he meets a centuries old teacher and begins an apprenticeship unlike anything he can imagine. But Green's new happiness promises to be short lived because alongside these marvels lurks a deadly threat to the place he's already coming to love. So this one sounds intriguing. There's something going on there, and I like the folklorish aspect kind of that might be mixed in. Starting out the 17th is another standalone, I believe, yes. Agnes Albert's Mystical Cat Shelter by Heather Fawcett. So while it's in the same vein, possibly as the Emily Wilde series, this one, like I said, I do believe is the standalone. Agnes Albert leads a meticulously organized life. She likes it that way. As the proudly type A manager of a cat rescue charity, she has devoted her life to finding forever homes for stray cats. Now it's the shelter that needs a new home, and the only landlord who will rent a space to a cat rescue is a mysterious man called Havelock, who also happens to be the world's most infamous magician, running an illegal magic shop out of his basement. Havelock is cantankerous and eccentric, but not handsome. And no, Agnes absolutely does not feel anything but disdain for him. After all, rumors swirl about his shadowy past, including whispers that his dark magic once almost brought about the apocalypse. But, things will happen and they will have to work together and attraction. I mean, he's not handsome. It sounds so cute and cozy. Then this one is technically kind of already available, but the trad published date of Blood and Fire by Ryan Cahill, the first of the Bound and the Broken series, comes out on the 17th. And as I have not started this one yet, it is one of my anticipated releases. And also, the Broken Binding is putting out, so the cover is gorgeous. Euphoria is a land divided by war and mistrust. The High Lords of the South squabble and fight, only kept in check by the Dragon Guard, traitors of a time long past who served the Empire of the North. In the remote villages of southern Etheria, still reeling from the tragic loss of his brother, Kalen Breyer prepares for the proving, a test of courage and skill that not all survive. But when three strangers arrive in the village of Milltown with a secret they are willing to die for, Kalen's world is ripped from under him, and he is thrust headfirst into a war that has been raging for centuries. There was no prophecy, his coming was not foretold, because it does play into a lot of the tropes of the OG style fantasies, but with a modern twist. So, one of the series that I have been wanting to start, and still haven't, but hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. The final week of February brings us two very different ones. On the 24th, we have The Legend of the Nine-Tailed Fox by Katarina Kwan. Yue might be the last of her kind. At night, she stalks the capital city of Longao, luring in unsuspecting victims with the mask of a beautiful woman, then consuming them in her true form of the nine-tailed fox. When she is captured by a powerful demon hunter named Sunam and banished to hell, she manages one final act of revenge, dragging him and two of his subordinates down with her. And in hell, they must work together and find out that the other one is not exactly as they seem. This is mostly fantasy, it said, but it does have a dash of romance, according to the author blurb. Yet everywhere, of course, listed as, fantasy romance, romantasy. But when she says a dash of romance, I feel like it is a subplot, maybe barely there. We're going to have to check it out, find out what dash means to them. Then, completely differently, is going to be The Iron Garden Sutra by A.D. Sui, the first in the Cosmic Wheel series. Now, the blurb for this has a lot of comparison novels, which I felt seemed like made it interesting. It says, Clara and the Sun meets S.A. Barnes' Dead Silence with a touch of Becky Chambers' A Psalm for the Wild Built, in a darkly philosophical locked room murder mystery as a death monk and a team of researchers trapped on board a spaceship in the dead encounter something beyond human understanding. Because you're following Vessel Iris as he's devoted himself to the Starlight Order, performing funeral rites for the dead across the galaxy, guiding souls back to the infinite light. The spaceship Council of Nicaea has been lost for more than 1,000 years, its passengers reduced to dust and bone, a relic of Earth's dying past. Its sudden appearance has attracted a team of academics eager to investigate its archaeological history, and Iris has been assigned to bring the peace to the crew's long departed souls. But what they find aboard the ship is quite different, as while there's not human life, there is organic life abound, as it's kind of become a garden across the whole ship, and something lurking in the garden. Those are my 8 for February. I'd love to know which ones you're most looking forward to, or if there's something coming out that you want to mention that wasn't on the list, feel free to drop it in the comments down below so we can all check it out. I hope you enjoyed this one, though. You'll subscribe if you haven't yet, and that you're just finding something great to read today. And I will see you in the next one.